It may seem strange, but WWE has a list of words that wrestlers and other talent are not allowed to say. The list has been leaked, allowing us to see which words are banned and the reasons why. First on the list is wrestling and wrestlers. This sounds completely crazy. I mean, the company's initials literally stand for World Wrestling Entertainment. However, these two words have infamously been banned in WWE for years. The reason is so that WWE can broaden its appeal. The feeling is that if WWE doesn't call itself wrestling, then people who aren't wrestling fans will check it out. Instead of wrestling, WWE has called what it does sports entertainment, or even just entertainment. Likewise, WWE calls its wrestlers superstars. This is also to try to appeal to non-wrestling fans, but it's also done to make the wrestlers seem larger than life. To be fair, it makes sense. Which sounds more prestigious, I'm a wrestler or I'm a superstar? Two more recently banned words in WWE are belt and strap, referring to the championships that wrestlers, superstars, fight for. Similar to why wrestler is banned, it's believed that belt and strap are too plain and ordinary and doesn't make the championships sound special enough. Instead of saying belt, wrestlers and other talent are supposed to refer to them as championships or titles. Not only is intentional bleeding in WWE not allowed, but just the word blood is also banned. So is the word choke, headshot, trauma, spinal injuries, violence, violent, curb stomp, strangle, kill, and murder. All these words are on the banned list because they are too violent. Oh shoot, I can't say that. It seems this is less about upsetting fans and more about upsetting sponsors and other business partners. In fact, Daniel Bryan infamously got fired for choking a ring announcer because it made WWE sponsors upset. To avoid losing sponsorships and brand deals, WWE has all these words banned, which is unfortunate for Seth Rollins, Kane, and The Undertaker. This one is a little ironic, but diva is a banned word in WWE. This used to be what the company referred to its female wrestlers as. Men were superstars, women were divas. However, since the Divas revolution in the mid-2010s, WWE has started referring to all of its wrestlers, male and female, as superstars. The reason WWE doesn't use diva anymore is to help make the women's division more focused on wrestling rather than looks and beauty. Additionally, the term diva doesn't exactly have the most positive meaning. It's worth mentioning that anti-diva is also a no-no word. This was the nickname Paige used, and it's banned for the exact same reason diva is banned. Several other banned words are kayfabe, house, push, being over, babyface, heel, and job/jobber. The reason why these words are forbidden is that they are mainly insider terms. If these words were used on TV, then WWE would essentially be breaking the fourth wall. Calling a good guy wrestler a babyface would be similar to if someone in a movie referred to the main character as the protagonist. It wouldn't make any sense. This one is bizarre, but mofos is also banned. I mean, WWE is a PG show, so I guess it makes sense that the company wouldn't want to hear references to adult language. The next word on the banned list isn't actually a word, but an abbreviation, DQ. Of course, this is a short way of saying disqualification. There isn't a clear reason why DQ isn't allowed to be said, but perhaps it's to avoid having fans think about the restaurant chain Dairy Queen. More words that wrestlers and WWE talent are not allowed to say are victim and wife beater. Considering the other words on this list, it makes sense why WWE would also ban these words too. Wife beater is pretty obvious, but victim isn't as clear. The reason for not saying victim is that it could make people think of things like domestic violence and other horrible crimes. Especially with the ongoing war in Ukraine, it begins to make sense why WWE banned the word victim. Speaking of the war, another word got banned because of it. Currently, commentators and other on-screen personnel can't say the word attack. Since Russia attacked Ukraine, WWE wants to avoid accidentally making similarities to the war and therefore has banned the word attack for the time being. Another word, or technically an abbreviation, that isn't too surprising to see on this list is WWF. It seems like it would be a no-brainer. After all, the company has been called WWE for over 20 years now. However, there are some people who do insist on calling it WWF, mainly when talking about the company during that era. To prevent that from happening during their shows, WWE decided to get the WWF out. Now, the next two words on WWE's banned list are kind of weird. The words are card and non-title. Card is understandable. As previously mentioned, WWE wants to distance itself from wrestling, so referring to a match lineup as the card doesn't make sense. Card is also a term that MMA uses, and since WWE wants to brand itself as entertainment, it makes sense to avoid using terms associated with sports. However, non-title is kind of odd. The term is a recent addition to the banned list. Instead of saying a non-title match, WWE refers to matches where a champion is fighting but without their title on the line as championship contenders matches. Again, the reason is to use fewer wrestling and sports-related terms and focus on entertainment. Personally, a championship contenders match just doesn't make any sense. Despite these words being banned, wrestlers have sometimes said them on TV. To see those incidents, watch the video on screen.